Chaos Collection is out now. This sample pack is designed for drum and bass, dubstep, and house. I'm going to take you through each section of the pack and just show you how to use it. If you want to get this pack, there's a link in the description. First of all, we've got over 1,000 samples, and this includes 300 plus drum one-shots. Now, the way I've designed these one-shots is I've created tracks with all these different drums, and then I've picked the best ones and then put them in this pack. And what that means is every single kick, snare, clap, hat definitely works in a track. And this will just mean that when you use them in your tracks, it increases the chances of them working really well in your track. So we've got 30 kicks, and then we've got all these different types of snares. We've got acoustic, heavy snares, light snares, rims, and then same with claps. We've got hand claps, heavy claps, light claps, snaps, and then we've got different types of hats. We've got closed hats, open hats, rides, shakers, and then we've got loads of percussion. So we've got bongos, cowbells, crashes, hits, loads of percussion, loads of different random sounds, and some toms as well. So you should have pretty much everything you need for drums in this one little pack of drums here. And they've all been tried and tested in tracks. Next, we have 50 drum loops. So we've got drum loops for house, for bass, for dubstep, and for every type of drum and bass. And again, these have all been tested in tracks. So I know that every single one of these loops is perfect for that genre. And I've also given you the hat loops and the percussion loops of each element so that you can customize them and create your own drum loops with them. And then if you want to take it further, you can mix and match with the drum one-shots as well. On top of that, we've got 50 fills. So these are like drum build-ups, transitions between sections every 8 bar or 16 bars, as well as pre-drop fills, so the 1 bar before the drop. And then we've got breaks as well. As well as drums, we also have bass one-shots. And all of these 100 basses are perfectly post-processed. So you can literally just drag them in straight onto your track. Some of them have like 10 different plugins working on them, as well as Serum. So I've really taken my time with these and made sure each one is perfect. And then I've also exported all the Serum patches from Serum for the presets, just in case you don't have Serum, or if you want to get creative with the sounds directly instead of using Serum, because it depends on your workflow and how you like to work with tunes. And then on top of that, we've got 100 different synth loops. So we've got a bunch of ARPs, and these work great in drum and bass and dubstep and even house. And then we've got melodies. So these are like bass melodies to give you some ideas, or they're like intro melodies just to help you brainstorm a little bit. And then we've got all these different pads. So these are like the best pads I've found. And you'll have noticed on all of these, I've written the BPM and the key they're in as well. So you can literally just drag them in. Oh, it's an F minor. I know that. Now I can work with that. And for the melodies, I've given you like any chord progressions, and the same with the pads as well. And it's just worth noting that every pad here, the first chord is what key it's in. So this one here is E minor, the first chord. So this is in E minor. I've just done that for every single sample here, just so it makes it easier for you. So again, this one here would be G minor. And then we've got some respace ideas here, and I've just put every single note it plays for you, so you can easily get that. And then on top of that, we've got 100 different effects. So I've created some Atmos things here, and these are great for intros for putting underneath to make it sound more full. And I've gone through and created 30 different ones just for you. And again, it says the notes here, so you know what key it's in. And then we've got down filters as well as impacts. We've got some just one-shot effects, different sounds here that you can experiment with. And then we've got risers as well as different white noise. So we've got like birds, white noise sounds, applause, and rain as well. So these things are really to fill up your intros and make them sound a lot more full. And then on top of that, we've got MIDI files. Now this is something new I've been doing, and it's been really helpful. So I've got ARPs here that you can literally just drag. So let me just show you. So let's say we've got Serum open here. And then we can literally just drag this onto here, and then you have a whole ARP in D minor. So if you're ever struggling, you can just drag these across in the key you're working with, and then mess about with them, and make sure to change the octave as well. It might sound better in a different octave. And then it's just to give you ideas for your tracks to get you kick-started if you're struggling. It's the same here with chords. I've gone through and found the best chords for these kind of tracks. You might notice that when you create chords, it doesn't really sound great, hard to get the right ones. Well, this should help a lot. We've got E minor, D minor, G minor, F minor. We've got all sorts of crazy chords here. And I've specifically gone through and found the best ones for electronic music. And on top of this, we've got drop melodies. So you can use these for your basses on Serum, just to give you some ideas. Now these don't have the key on because it's a bit harder to get the key, because when you're using bass sounds, you don't really follow a key as much. You just do whatever sounds good, but then you stick to the root note. So here, this would be like A minor, and then you stick to that root note. And then we've got a few melodies here as well, just for you to brainstorm some intros as well. And then we've got a respaces here as well. They just play one note, but these work really well with the Serum presets, the respace Serum presets. And also, if you're not on FL Studio, you might have to drag these either up or down 2 octaves because it's exports slightly different on FL Studio. Or if you're using like Logic or Reaper or whatever, just make sure when you drag them in, they're in the right octave. So we've gone through over 1,000 different samples there, and I've really focused on making them user-friendly for you to get better at producing. That's the whole purpose of this pack. And then on top of that, we've got all these Serum presets here. So we've got 90 basses, 10 foghorns, and then 808s and leads and pads and things like that, and respaces. So you're going to have a field day with those Serum presets. And then on top of that, we've got 3 build kits. So what these are is they're just the stems of an intro and a verse drop. So you can see all the different elements that go in creating a track. And the first one is bassline. We've got all the MIDI files here as well, so you could recreate it with different sounds. The second track is liquid DnB, so you've got all the stems here and the MIDI as well. So you could put all these MIDIs in and see how it works, get an understanding of how to make these different tracks like liquid drum bass. And then we've got a jump up track here as well. And if you want to hear what these sound like, there is a demo on the Chaos collection page, which is on my website. The link is down below. You'll be able to hear what they sound like. And then on top of that, we've got 3 different project files. So we've got a house track, a drum and bass rollers track, and a jump up drum and bass track. And these are all accessible for Ableton users. So I've created the project on Ableton, I've created the project on FL Studio, and I've also got the stems here as well. And that's for each track. So for Happier, Wagwan, and You Want Me. And you'll find these really helpful. You can dissect them, see how I've created them, and then that will really help you when you're producing yourself in the future. So that is the core of the sample pack completed. On top of this, if you want, you can also add the 3 bonuses. And these are FL Studio project templates and Ableton project templates. This is what I use in all my YouTube videos. And in every track I create, I use these project templates. It just helps with workflow, and it just helps with mix down and everything. It's super useful. And then we've got a private Discord server that you can join, and that's where I'm most active and most available to answer any questions you have regarding the sample pack or just production in general. And then we've got a complete mixdown guide that I've created and updated for 2024. And this is way better than the last one that I made. It's a lot more advanced and has got everything you need to know in it. So that is everything in the sample pack. I'm really excited for you to use this sample pack. It's taken me a long time to put together, many months, and I'm excited to see what bangers you make from it.